What's up, Internet? Pandragon Dan here, and welcome to the next round in March Disney Villain Madness. Man, those last few battles have been brutal, haven't they? I don't think I've seen so much crazy action. Today we've got a battle with an old school and new school villain. Yep, that's right. It's the original Disney bad kitty, Shere Khan, up against the dinosaur Yzma. And I'm diving into the jungle to tell you why Shere Khan is so terrifying. He's so bad that even wolves are afraid of him. And he's about to eat Yzma alive. Why? Let me tell you. Shere Khan is probably one of the more unique villains of my team, because in the Jungle Book, the fear and terror surrounding him is built up even before he makes an appearance. Every single animal in the jungle fears Shere Khan, and rightly so. He's a deadly predator, and he proves this when he first appears, hunting a deer. And what better way to introduce a bad guy than doing what he's best at? Now, unlike a lot of villains on my team, Shere Khan's motivations aren't really driven by a thirst for power or world domination. He's mostly wicked because of his nature. Tigers are, after all, one of the most deadliest animals in the feline kingdom and are well known for being ruthless hunters. However, Khan's motivations go a little deeper. At a young age, he witnessed his family being killed by hunters, which gave him both a fear of guns and fire, and also a hatred for humans. In fact, he hates them so much that when Mowgli is lost in the jungle, he's willing to hunt him down and murder him. Bear in mind that Mowgli is only a kid. This is pretty harsh. Ironically enough, Mowgli is the only person in the jungle that isn't afraid of him. At least not at first. Despite being a tiger, Khan is more than just a ruthless killer. Somewhat contrary to what you expect from a tiger, Khan is suave, smooth, and talks with a very distinguished English accent. Because let's face it, when you want a bad guy to sound sophisticated, make him British. But in all seriousness, Shere Khan is one of the most commanding voices I've ever heard from a Disney villain. In the Jungle Book, he's voiced by George Sanders, who you may remember as Simon Templar from The Saint. Ha! Bet you didn't know that, Morgan. His voice is just so smooth and sophisticated, but every word he says has a dark undertone. He takes his time when he speaks, knowing that no one would dare interrupt him. Khan is fully aware that everyone is afraid of him, and he's not shy about using his presence to intimidate his victims. And nowhere in the film is this more obvious than when he speaks to Kaa. Kaa finds Mowgli before Khan arrives and interrogates him. All the way through this scene, Khan never raises his voice and actually remains quite polite. But you can clearly see that Kaa is terrified. This really adds to the tension of the scene. Somehow this scene kind of reminds me of the bit in Pulp Fiction when Jules and Vincent go to collect money from some guys at the beginning and they act all casual and polite at first. This scene is made even more imitated when Kaa's hypnosis doesn't work on Khan, forcing him to think quickly to hide Mowgli from him. Mowgli and Shere Khan do eventually meet at the climax of the film, and like I said earlier, Mowgli doesn't show any fear to him, though that's probably due to some childlike naivety and stubbornness than bravery. This culminates in a fight between Khan and Baloo the bear, who becomes fatally wounded in the process. Mowgli is able to defeat Shere Khan by tying a flaming stick to his tail, causing him to run away in fear. Khan is also unique in the fact that he's one of the few Disney villains that doesn't die in his respective films, and he actually makes a return in the Jungle Book 2, and even the spin-off series Tailspin. This time he was voiced by the legendary Tony Jay, who in my opinion is one of the greatest voice actors to ever have lived. And whilst I'm not saying that he was better than Sanderson, he did a great job of capturing the commanding presence of Shere Khan. I always believed that Tony Jay had one of the best voices when it came to villains, and he just jumped into the role. Naturally, his role on Tailspin was a little downplayed compared to the Jungle Book, but every second he's on the screen is a joy to watch. Khan is a vicious hunter, but cunning at the same time. His presence is terrifying, but he's a smooth talker. And he was also voiced by, who I consider to be, two of the greatest English actors of their time. This guy is smooth talking, but utterly fearsome. He may not have dreams of world domination or anything like that, but he's all about revenge and proving himself to be the baddest cat out there. Shere Khan, proving that evil can be smooth as much as dangerous. Man, that is one bad cat. And if you want to see him win, all you have to do is vote for him. Click on the link below to be taken to the voting page, and be sure to follow mine and Morgan's blogs for more updates. The voting will stay open until the 9th of March, when the next battle will take place. Make sure you join us for that, because in the next battle, I'm bringing some girl power into it. Until then, guys, ta-ta for now.